So often I am contacted by people who have read my website for help forming a trust for asset protection purposes. My name is Jonathan Alper, and I'm an asset protection attorney practicing in Orlando, Florida, with clients throughout the state of Florida and even in other parts of the country. I've found that in Florida, a trust, more often than not, is really not what the client needs as part of their asset protection plan. So first I want to tell you or explore certain types of well-known trusts that do not work for asset protection. The first types of trust are so-called revocable trusts. These are trusts that the person who makes the trust, and we'll call them the trust maker, can amend or revoke entirely or take money out whenever they want. The best known example is a living trust that people use for estate planning. This is a common misconception about living trusts. Living trusts are estate planning documents. They provide no asset protection benefits in Florida. A second common trust is a land trust. Land trusts are trusts that people will use to title or purchase property so that their name does not appear on the public record of the property. But land trusts are also revocable trusts, and the person who makes the trust, like a living trust, is a beneficiary of the trust. Land trusts also provide no asset protection benefits in Florida. The type of trust that sometimes will provide asset protection benefits is the irrevocable trust. This is a trust that cannot be changed, cannot be revoked, and cannot be amended. In Florida and most other states, however, if you make an irrevocable trust, naming others as beneficiaries, but you, the person who made the trust, retains an interest as a beneficiary also, so that the trust can pay back to you income or some of your principal. This does not protect your assets because this is known as a self-settled trust. And a self-settled trust is a trust where the person who makes the trust is also the beneficiary of the trust. It's sort of circular. And the law says that if you can get money back out of an irrevocable trust, so can your creditors. Some states around the country have specific statutes which say that these self-settled irrevocable trusts are asset protected trusts. But whether a trust set up in another state that has these statutes is going to help you as a Florida debtor, this has not been determined by a Florida court. And in my opinion, and the opinion of most other asset protection attorneys around the country, it won't work. If you plan to benefit from a self-settled asset protection trust, the so-called domestic asset protection trust, this will work only if you own property and are residing in the states that have these statutes. Another type of asset protection trust that's irrevocable and where the person who makes the trust is the beneficiary is the well-known offshore trust. And just like these domestic asset protection trusts, the offshore trusts work because these offshore jurisdictions have specific statutes that say they're going to work. Now, offshore trusts are daunting to a creditor, and they can increase your negotiating position with a creditor. But they're also very complicated and they're expensive. And if you have to file bankruptcy or are forced into bankruptcy, an offshore asset protection trust will not help you. The trustee can get the trust and they can get the property. The only thing that really does work in terms of trust planning in Florida is a true irrevocable trust where you actually give the money away. So if you want to put money aside for your children or other family members or for their education, and you retain no interest in the trust, it's a true irrevocable gift. This can provide asset protection help so long as the transfer is not deemed to be a fraudulent transfer. So don't try to do this if someone's about to get a judgment against you and try to give away your money in a trust, because it's not going to work, because the creditor will reverse it as a fraudulent conversion. If you want help with trust planning or other asset protection planning, or if you want information to see whether your trust that's existing is going to work to help you against your creditors, give me a call. My phone number is 407-444-0404. I'm here to help you. And thanks for watching the video.